Hello everyone! I am using a Kolinsky sable brush to paint the first layers of leaves. This is the underpainting, the raw brush strokes to delimit the shadows and shapes. I usually use tempera, but now I am using acrylics. As a rule in oil painting, always paint fat over lean, meaning always start with diluted or less dense layers and add more pigments as it develops. You can create an oil painting including other media like tempera or acrylic. You can do so as long as you use the water-based mediums as first layers. On the last layers, glazing and detailing, you can use oil mediums. Don't add water-based mediums over oil-based mediums, or the paint would crack and fall off. Be careful as well to let a layer dry before you add the next layer, or the colors can mix and smudge together. Now, some painters use a monochromatic palette for the underpainting. I want to use the real colors on the underpainting, because I love how the white background reflects light through the color layers. I wanted to create a watercolor texture, so I used acrylics as if they were watercolors. On this video you will see how I paint some birds and a tree from my painting Lady in the Hawthorn Tree. For this European goldfinch I am using a fine round paintbrush and cadmium yellow acrylic. For his feathers I am using black, cadmium red, ochre and titanium white. When painting its feathers, I just made fine paint strokes. I am painting on a previous sketch that was transferred to this Masonite painting board. If you want to know more about how I transferred my sketches to the painting surface, check the description below for the link to the related videos. I am painting a goldfinch because of its symbolism in Christian iconography. In the European Renaissance religious painting, the goldfinch is almost always present with infant Jesus. This bird is related to the Passion of Christ and his sacrifice. The red feathers on the goldfinch's face were said to have arisen because the bird tried to pull a thorn from Christ's crown during the crucifixion, and it was stained red from a drop of Christ's blood. Another religious metaphor is that goldfinches eat the seeds from thistles and yet come to no harm from the thorns. In the same way that Christ was able to withstand the crown of thorns and the cross. I am painting a red-breast robin here. I am using raw umber, titanium white and cadmium red acrylics. I am painting with a fine round sable brush, making small strokes for the feathers. Traditionally, in Christian legends, the robin was a protector of child Jesus. The robin got his red breast after burning himself on a fire that he fanned to keep the baby Jesus warm. Redbreast also came to aid Christ at his cross. It plucked a thorn from Christ's temple, and a drop of Jesus' blood fell on the robin's chest, turning it red. There are more legends around the world about this little fellow, but I included this one here because of its symbology related to sacrifice. After the first underpainting layer had dried, I added a new layer of titanium white and cadmium yellow to create a soft, uniform atmosphere. Don't panic, I could see the elements through the layer and I was able to repaint them. This layer will allow me to soften the colors and achieve a softer texture. It feels like reworking what I already have done, and it is, but I added this layer to experiment, to add an atmospheric background color and merge the elements. I am retracing and re-outlining all the elements which are seen through, and now the transferred sketch is covered up too. By doing this, I have hidden the traces, and hopefully all the figures will come alive with every layer. I repeat the process and use the same colors, but more saturated this time. I repaint the leaves using sap green mixed with Prussian blue acrylic and liquid. I am trying to create a tapestry of birds, leaves and fruit in the hawthorn tree. So there has to be a rhythm between the tree and the background, leaving some empty spaces, but also not making it very busy. The shape of the birds must be integrated to the tree without losing themselves in it. As you can see here, I am not covering the leaf completely. I am leaving some underpainting visible to achieve more texture and don't make it flat. I wanted to merge the Madonna more into the tree, so I am painting a translucent glazing of raw umber oil mixed with liquid. This layer is more transparent in case I needed to change it and paint it differently. I am using a fine round synthetic brush for acrylics, but it works perfect with oils as well. I wanted to paint the branches and thorns as if they would embrace her dress, moving in and out of the fabric folds. As I did not know if this would be a good idea, I just started simple and saw how it went. I thought that these tree branches needed to follow the tree form, embracing the Madonna more into its core. I am adding another glazing of sap green, raw umber and Prussian blue, oil mixed with liquid. Knowing the shape of the leaves is essential to identify the tree. The leaves of the hawthorn tree are shiny, divided into 3 to 7 lobes. The numbers 3 and 7 have strong meanings in numerology. 3 represents Trinity, the unity of opposites and its synthesis. 3 is a number of harmony and equilibrium. It is a sacred number. 7 in numerology is a conjunction between the number 3 and the number 4. 4 is the number for stability, solidness, and strength. It's related to the cross and the cardinal points in space. I am adding another glazing of the branches using raw umber and Prussian blue mixed with liquid. This branch is penetrating the fold of the sleeve and trespassing the fabric. The hawthorn tree is associated with Beltane, an ancient festival celebrating spring, renewal, and fertility. This tree blooms twice a year, in winter and in spring, once in May and again around Christmas. Maybe that is why in Victorian England the hawthorn represented hope based in the language of flowers. In Celtic mythology, the fairy queen stood on a hawthorn from which a cuckoo was calling. The fairy queen by her hawthorn can also be seen as a representation of a pre-Christian archetype. In Christian iconography, Our Lady of Aranzazu, a province in Spain, appeared as well on a hawthorn tree surrounded by birds. The hawthorn tree is one of the 8 most sacred Celtic trees, along the ash, oak, holly, elder, hazel, yew, and rowan. Hawthorn trees were thought to be inhabited or protected by fairies. Whoever cut a branch of this tree would be punished with calamities on his land, house, injuries, or even death. These sacred trees were found planted beside holy wells. Holy wells are associated with a particular saint. The water is curative and it is a place of devotion. Some legends suggest that this sacred tree by a holy well could be a portal to the beyond. When making this painting, I wanted to bring these symbols together into a more folkloric iconography. While the glazing is still fresh, I add a little bit of titanium white to bring more texture to the tree bark. I am not covering all the branch in the same color, but just bits of it. Here we come back to the birds. I am adding a glazing with more saturated pigments and less liquid. The colors remain the same: cadmium yellow, ochre, titanium white, and for the feathers and a soft outlining, black and raw umber. Here you can see how I apply the pigment with the round brush and then smudge the paint with a fluffy old brush. I have not yet seen these birds in reality, so my perception of their feathers and colors might not be totally real. In this way, I am painting like those old masters of the past that reimagine these creatures or use manuscripts and codices as references. Thank you for joining me in this painting. This video is a part of a series of videos that cover different topics of the same painting, The Lady in the Hawthorn Tree. So I hope to be sharing with you more videos soon about the Madonna, the water, the landscape, and many other elements and symbolism. Thank you, and until the next time, bye!